Water glimmers under the dim light of the estate pool. A lone ripple breaks the stillness. Something isn't right. Someone is in the pool, and it's not supposed to be there. The tension hangs in the air like a storm about to strike, and Tommy senses it before he even sees it. A single step closer, and the shocking truth begins to unfold. The night is heavy and quiet, broken only by the soft whisper of wind through the trees and the faint chirping of crickets. The estate is shrouded in shadows, the kind that seem to move when you're not looking directly at them. Tommy walks slowly along the stone path that leads to the pool, his footsteps muffled by the damp earth beneath his shoes. Each step feels heavier than the last, as if the ground itself is warning him to stop. The camera doesn't show his face directly. Instead, it stays close to his hands, trembling slightly, and his shoes splashing softly in the shallow puddles that have formed near the edges of the path. Subtle fog rises from the water, curling around the pool like fingers reaching for something unseen. The lights around the pool flicker once, twice, and then stabilize, casting eerie reflections across the surface. The water is still, almost too still, and Tommy's reflection wavers in the dim light. He leans slightly closer, instinctively squinting to see something beneath the surface. His breathing becomes audible, slow at first, then uneven. As his gut tells him that something is wrong, the camera pans slowly across the pool's edge, capturing tiny movements in the water that could be shadows or could be something more. A faint splash echoes, distant but sharp like a warning. Tommy freezes, his eyes darting across the water. The voiceover narrates his growing tension. Something's not right. I can feel it. Text overlays appear in sharp, dramatic font. The pool hides a secret. The soft hum of suspenseful music begins to rise, subtle at first, building alongside Tommy's cautious steps. He reaches the first step of the pool ladder and pauses, his hand hovering over the metal rail. A drop of water glistens on the edge, falling slowly into the pool with a tiny, yet piercing plink that seems louder than it should be in the stillness of the night. The camera shifts to a low-angle shot from the water, showing ripples radiating outward, a subtle sign that the water is disturbed. Tommy notices it immediately, his eyes widening, heart racing. His mind flashes through possibilities. Could it be TL? The thought hits him like a punch. Tommy's steps become quicker, but he's careful, almost afraid that any sudden move will reveal too much, or worse, push something he isn't ready to face. The camera captures reflections in the water, his shadow stretching across the pool like a distorted warning. Every sound is amplified. The creak of the fence in the wind, the distant hoot of an owl, the soft rustle of leaves. Each detail is magnified to heighten the tension, emphasizing Tommy's growing dread. Finally, he reaches the pool's edge. His hand shakes as he leans over slightly, the camera capturing the water's surface from a first-person perspective. Ripples distort the reflection of the moonlight, creating a surreal, almost dreamlike effect. Then, a subtle motion, something barely visible beneath the water, makes him freeze. His eyes widen, and he whispers under his breath, almost inaudible to the audience, "Tell?" The tension crescendos as the voiceover underscores his fear and disbelief. "I didn't expect to find this here. Not like this." Text overlays punctuate the moment with a dramatic reveal. The truth waits beneath the surface. The background music rises, a slow, haunting melody that signals something unexpected and serious is about to be discovered. The camera slowly zooms in on the water, creating a claustrophobic focus on the pool itself. Leaving viewers anticipating the next moment, Tommy reaches the very edge, and the camera cuts to a POV shot, as if the viewer themselves is peering into the water. The faint outline of a figure moves just beneath the surface. His hand hovers over the water, hesitant, trembling, not yet touching the pool. Another ripple distorts the figure, and the camera briefly switches to a shadowy angle, making it hard to discern exactly what's in the water, increasing suspense. The voiceover adds, "I have to know. But am I ready for what I'll see?" The section ends with a cliffhanger. The camera lingers on the water's surface, dark and mysterious. A single droplet falls from Tommy's hand into the pool, creating ripples that stretch outward like fingers of fate. The music cuts momentarily to silence, leaving the audience with a sense of imminent revelation. Something shocking is about to be discovered. And Tommy is standing right at the edge of it. The night air is thick with tension, heavy and almost alive. Tommy steps closer to the pool, each footfall muffled by the soft, wet grass under his shoes. He pauses mid-step, tilting his head as if listening to something no one else could hear. The wind rustles the leaves, but underneath it, there's a faint, almost imperceptible sound, a gentle splash, like someone shifting underwater. It's not loud, yet it pulls Tommy forward. A magnet he cannot resist. The camera glides close to the water's edge, capturing droplets clinging to the poolside, reflecting the dim moonlight like tiny, frozen stars. Shadows stretch across the surface, twisting and bending unnaturally. Tommy's hand hovers over the pool's edge, trembling, his reflection distorted in the ripples. He doesn't move further. He can't. The water seems to breathe, rising and falling subtly as if alive. And he feels it. The pool itself is holding its secret tightly. Daring him to uncover it, he crouches slightly, eyes narrowing, scanning every ripple. Then a faint glimmer flashes under the surface. A sleeve? Hair? The outline is fleeting, gone before he can be certain. His pulse quickens, but there's no fear yet, only an insistent, gnawing curiosity. The voiceover captures his thoughts plainly. It shouldn't be here. And yet, I feel it. Text overlays flicker softly. Something stirs beneath the calm. The environment reacts to Tommy's presence. The wind dies down, leaving a heavy silence that presses against his ears. The distant sound of a dog barking, muffled and far away, echoes briefly, then fades. It's like the world itself is holding its breath. Tommy's eyes scan the pool again, catching a faint, irregular movement near the far edge. Something is shifting, but it doesn't look entirely human. The suspense builds not from what's obvious, but from what the mind imagines could be lurking in the dark water. The camera moves to a first-person perspective, as if the viewer themselves leans over the edge of the pool. The water distorts everything beneath it. A sleeve floats, hair fans out, but no face is visible yet. Sound design enhances the tension, subtle, distorted echoes, as though the pool is whispering secrets just beyond comprehension. Tommy's breathing is louder now, uneven. Each inhale and exhale punctuating the eerie quiet. A sudden reflection catches Tommy's attention, a shimmer of something metallic in the water, perhaps a watch or a necklace. His mind races. Could it be TL's? Did something happen here earlier, before I arrived? The voiceover conveys his conflicted thoughts, blending fear and determination. I need to know. I have to see for myself, even if it's worse than I expect. As he leans further over, the camera circles around him in a slow 360-degree pan, emphasizing his isolation. The edges of the pool disappear into darkness. Only the water, shimmering with pale moonlight, exists in his world. Ripples travel outward slowly, reacting to something submerged, something not quite visible. Tommy's reflection dances across the surface, fragmented and ghostly, hinting at the danger below. Another splash, subtle, almost gentle, startles him. Not large, not alarming in sound, but enough to make him freeze. The voiceover whispers, "It moved." Or I imagined it. Either way, it's here. Text overlays fade in briefly. Shimmering like water, the truth waits. The suspense is drawn out, letting the audience sit in the tension, imagining what could emerge from the dark pool. Then, the camera focuses on Tommy's hand hovering over the water. He hesitates, the surface reflecting the moon in fractured patterns. Ripples spread slowly, almost deliberately, as though something beneath the water is testing him, watching him, daring him to reach out. The voiceover captures his internal conflict, simple yet gripping. I should stop. I should walk away. But I can't. Finally, a shadow detaches itself from the pool's far edge, not fully clear, not fully human, and drifts closer. Tommy leans in slightly, but not enough to touch. The camera angle stays tight on the water's surface, keeping Til's form partially obscured. The audience knows the reveal is coming, but not yet. The tension is unbearable. Every sound, every ripple, every glimmer in the water is magnified. The section closes with a heartbeat-like drum in the sound design, growing louder and slower, echoing Tommy's rising panic and anticipation. The water's surface shimmers one last time before fading to darkness, leaving viewers suspended in suspense, imagining what lies beneath. Eager for the shocking moment just beyond reach, the night grows colder as Tommy leans closer to the edge of the pool, every muscle in his body tense, as if anticipating an invisible strike. The soft rustle of leaves has stopped. Even the crickets have gone silent. The world is holding its breath with him. Shadows stretch across the water, fractured by the faint moonlight, turning the pool into a mirror of ghostly shapes. Each ripple distorts the image further, making it impossible to know exactly what lies beneath. Tommy's hand hovers above the water, trembling. The sound of his heartbeat grows